Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some exciting news. After many complaints from the community, Yoshi has finally decided to rework the urn in a more substantial way. Now, some of the things still work the same, like meleeing the urn to initially pick it up, and the drop-off location is basically the same, although they did move it on top of the bridge instead of on the bottom of the bridge. But once we get on over here, you'll see just what they've done to make this hopefully a much more tolerable objective to play around. You'll notice that, well, you no longer actually have to melee this urn, and instead, look at this! We've got a capture space, and let's go ahead and put an enemy in here, and they can capture too. And they're actually capturing a little bit faster because I think it's a comeback urn for them, technically. But yeah, now they're at 99%, I'm still capturing. Both teams can capture at the same time inside of this radius. And so, how do we determine who wins? Well, only one team can remain in the circle for the urn to truly be deposited. So let's murder this dynamo very slowly, and boom. And now, it just said dynamo turned in the urn, but I think I got the urn because I got the skulls there, so it looks like, ooh, that was a scary UI bug, but indeed I have 2.6k souls and Dynamo only has 600. Ooh, that's a little goofy looking, but yeah, this is the way that the urn works now. So you no longer have this melee fest where everybody is trying to punch the urn under this tiny bridge where all the AoE slop is spammed into the tightest of tight hallways. That is gone, and thank goodness for that. It was, you know what, it was chaotic, and it was hectic, and in some sense, that could be fun, but it was just a little too much of a mess, and most people tended to agree that it was not the right direction to go with the urn. So, let's read a little bit more about how this works, and as always, of course, the patch notes are in the description down below if you want to follow along. First of all, the Urn Runner now gets their normal 35% bonus bounty and stats immediately on initial deposit, rather than just on the deposit conclusion, only if your team won it. So, this actually places a little more of an emphasis on interrupting the urn in transit, rather than just letting whoever drop it off. Because if you steal the urn from an enemy and then you turn it in, you will get some benefit immediately, even if the urn fight eventually doesn't go your way. So you really want to make sure that you capture the urn and steal it out of the enemy's hands. The urn's overall bounty has also been reduced by 20%, except in the case that your team is behind. If it is a comeback urn for your team, then it gives the same amount of souls as it did before, but, you know, proportionally now, that is many more souls than it would otherwise provide. And while you're carrying the urn, you do get some pretty nice buffs. So you now also get 35% debuff resist on top of the base 35% bullet and spirit resist. And you also get +1 extra meters of sprint speed than you had before. You also have a further 10 seconds to carry the urn before you start taking damage, which I think is nice because I noticed that, yeah, that kicks in really fast. And I've had instances where I actually had to drop the urn because, you know, I was holding onto it for too long, even though it didn't really feel like I was carrying it for that much time. So I'm still actually not even taking damage right now. Well, let's go ahead and drop this off now. Let me summon another Dynamo here, and let's just chill out in here. And again, you'll notice that because he is behind, he is capturing at a significantly faster rate. So the progress duration for favored, neutral, unfavored is as follows: 6 seconds if your team is behind, 12 seconds for neutral, 18 whole seconds, as you can see right there, for the team that is ahead. And finally, well, we're both at 99%. Golly, they finally added capturing the objective to Deadlock before GTA 6. And some people say this isn't a hero shooter. Anyways, we're just gonna keep sitting here, because I want to show you what happens if you run out of time, because there is a time limit on this thing. After about 75 seconds, which is a long time to wait. Holy crap, the music is still just escalating and escalating. After 75 seconds, it will give up, and it'll throw all the souls as orbs into the sky, and they will float for a long time. So let's just keep waiting to see that here. It's gonna take a little bit more time. This This is a really long wait period. Oh, there's even a UI component. Nice. I do like this UI. Yeah, time's almost up. I wish there was actually a timer for it. That would be really helpful. But yeah, there we go. And whoa, look at all those souls. And so you have an opportunity to deny as many of these as you can. And yeah, that is a pretty cool mechanic. I do like that. So you have to make your fights very quick and very decisive. Or, you know, just play a character with displacement and pull the enemies away from the urn. I feel like Bebop's gonna be real mean this update. So a couple more things to note. The capture area is 20 meters, and the progress rate is fixed regardless of the number of allies in the area. So you only need one person from both teams in the capture area to actually fight for your team on the urn. Also, the resistance aura for the team that's behind has been reduced from 60 meters down to just 20 meters to match the progress radius, so that is a very big nerf to the comeback team, although at least now you can clearly see the radius, and so if all of you guys just fight in the comeback circle, then maybe you can still win that fight. So at the end of the day, I am very excited to test this new urn out because it does look a little bit more fun than the previous urn, and yeah, the old urn definitely just was not the way forward, and I'm glad that they finally listened to all of our feedback and decided to try something totally different and move the urn in a new direction, because really that's exactly what we should be doing in an early access game. And if you guys remember, that's exactly what they did with the mid-boss some time ago. The mid-boss, yeah, got a couple of reworks, and people didn't really like the first couple of iterations, and so they kept changing it until eventually we landed on the mid-boss we have now, which is, you know, a pretty cool thing to see, and I do like seeing the development of the urn in real time. And eventually in the future, some of us veterans will reminisce about that one weird time when the urn was a melee objective. Golly, could you imagine? So yeah, this has all been a pretty fun experience to see overall, even though the urn definitely did have its frustrations. And so, as always, let me know what you think about it in the comments section down below. And also, if you appreciate my coverage of the update, then make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on future update videos. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.